Section 1. A blow to precedent. The Supreme Court, a pillar of American democracy. Now, a lightning rod for controversy. Its latest ruling on Chevron deference sent shockwaves through the legal world. This wasn't just about obscure legal doctrine. This was about power. The power of the government, the power of the people, and the delicate balance between the two. Senator Amy Klobuchar, a woman known for her sharp intellect and unwavering commitment to justice, recognized the gravity of the situation. She knew this decision could reshape the very fabric of American governance. The court, in one fell swoop, had upended decades of established practice. The air crackled with uncertainty. What would this decision mean for the future? Klobuchar, a former prosecutor herself, understood the potential consequences. This was not a time for silence. The stakes were too high. Senator Klobuchar, a staunch defender of the law, refused to let this decision stand unchallenged. She had seen firsthand the importance of checks and balances, how they protected the vulnerable, how they held the powerful accountable. Her voice, firm and resolute, rose above the din. This was a moment for clarity, a moment for action. Klobuchar knew that silence would be interpreted as acquiescence, and she would not be complicit. The senator had a platform, and she would use it. She would explain the complexities of Chevron deference to the American people. She would expose the potential ramifications of the court's decision, and she would fight to protect the principles of fairness and justice that were now under threat. Chevron deference, it sounds technical, intimidating even, but at its core, it's simple. It's about who gets the final say. For decades, it gave agencies, experts in their fields, the leeway to interpret Congress's laws. Think of it like this. Congress passes a law about clean air, but the law doesn't spell out every single detail. It's up to the Environmental Protection Agency to figure out the specifics. That's where Chevron deference came in. It said that as long as the agency's interpretation was reasonable, courts should defer to their judgment. This deference wasn't about giving the government free rein, it was about practicality. Congress can't be expected to micromanage every single rule and regulation. They rely on expert agencies to fill in the gaps. Section 4. A power shift. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Chevron deference has shifted the balance of power. Now, courts will have more say in how laws are interpreted. This might sound like a technicality, but the implications are far-reaching. Take environmental regulations, for example, or worker safety standards, or consumer protections. In all these areas, agencies have used Chevron deference to implement and enforce the law. Now, those rules are vulnerable. This decision empowers those who would rather see less regulation, less government oversight. It opens the door for corporations and special interests to challenge rules they don't like, and it makes it harder for agencies to protect the public interest. Section 5. Echoes of warning. Senator Klobuchar's warning was clear. This decision, she declared, is a direct attack on our government's ability to protect its citizens. Her words resonated with urgency and concern. She understood that this wasn't just an abstract legal debate. It was about real people's lives. For decades, Klobuchar continued, Chevron deference has allowed us to address complex problems, from climate change to public health. She cited examples of how agencies had used their expertise to craft effective regulations. Regulations that had saved lives. Regulations that had protected our environment. This decision, she warned, will have far-reaching consequences, making it harder for our government to function effectively and protect the American people. Her words were a call to action, a plea to recognize the gravity of the situation. The court had spoken, but the fight was far from over. Section 6. The unfolding landscape. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Chevron deference has created shockwaves that will continue to reverberate. The legal landscape is shifting, the balance of power is in flux, and the American people are left to grapple with the consequences. Senator Klobuchar's voice will be crucial in the days to come. She will continue to explain the implications of this decision. She will fight to protect the agencies that safeguard our health, our safety, and our environment. And she will remind us all that the fight for justice requires constant vigilance. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher. The outcome of this debate will determine the kind of country we will become, and it will fall to leaders like Senator Klobuchar to guide us through these turbulent times.